place to rest and grow lame. The first Carl lies buried behind the barn, dead and buried like his son Griffin and his wife Ella. He straightens in the chair and wonders if the dog wishes it had a boy for company. Not his boy, just some other kid. He wonders what it is that dogs long for, or if they long. Maybe they just wait patiently for some improvement in their lives. He thinks he's a man who knows something of waiting, but the heat's gotten to him, and he feels his stomach come up and shorten his breath. He cracks a window and sucks at the draft of night air. He drops his head back and stares through the window in the roof. Pegasus has risen in the dark sky, poised as if for a run of magic, or that's what he used to think. Now he looks at the stars and sees only a silent, uncaring witness, and tonight feels this press of steam-thick heat, smells the odor of living wood reduced to ash. No magic. He pops a wooden match with his thumbnail and lights a candle on the shelf by his elbow. He shakes the match out and looks down at his shriveled thighs and worn knees. His legs are white as summer cloud, blue-veined. At least his arms and shoulders are still strong, and he tightens his chest, the muscles in his neck. To the empty chair he says, "I've always been puny through the hindquarters, from the get-go. That's not news." He scoots forward on the chair and takes the quart mason jar from the shelf, holds it below him and pisses it half full before setting it down by the water bucket. He thumbs the sweat from his eyebrows and blinks at the walls and shelves, at the fist-sized chunks of agate and quartz, the petrified wood and half a dozen of the boy's favorite books. There's the hawk feathers he'd hung on the wall, the skull of a black baldy bull, a map of Norway cut out of National Geographic carefully, with a razor blade. One of Iceland, the picture of a bearded man in a horned helmet, and another of a tall black man with a spear balanced on a single leg. Both from National Geographic, the Norseman and the Senegalese hunter. The boy saw himself as dangerous, raised as he was by the descendants of warriors. Einar stares down at the dog again and thinks it would be a fine thing to have that kind of focus, to have a small window with something to stare at on the other side. He wishes for his own window and wonders what he might see. He wonders if Mitch has gone to sleep for the night. He pushes out of his chair and opens the door. He carries the jar at his side and steps to the edge of the porch board and sloshes the piss out into the darkness. He stands steaming in the cool air. The dog shifts, but doesn't rise, his hips so brittle with arthritis that it moves only when it must. Einar turns back to the doorway and says, "Just like old times." The dog blinks its clouded eyes and yawns, and Einar thinks that this is an animal that should be called out into the tall weeds and shot in the head and buried next to its namesake. But he knows Mitch would never stand for it. Mitch believes in suffering as a right, a burden, even sacred, for both man and beast.
Chapter 2. She sits on the side of her bed and reaches back to run the flat of her hand over the sheet. She slept on her back, legs straight, arms at her sides. She can feel where the fabric's cool and where it's warm, just there, where her fingertips edge into the outline her sleeping body has made. She imagines the warmth whispering softly that she was here, but in a minute or two there'll be no proof she was ever in this bed or even this trailer house, like she's invisible. She likes thinking that she can't be seen. It makes her smile. She listens. There's the noise of her mother in the kitchen, the gurgle of the coffee maker, water running at the sink. She stands and smooths the wrinkles on the bottom sheet, pulls up the top sheet and cotton blanket, and tucks them tight, then fluffs the pillow at the head of the bed, her small hands working in the dim light. She climbs onto the bed and edges a fingernail into the heads of the thumbtacks pressed into the wallboard above the window. The tacks hold the brown bath towels she puts up every evening for a curtain, and they've worn divots in the wallboard, and little particles always fall out when she removes them, like sawdust. But she doesn't think the wallboards are made of wood. She doesn't fool herself about much. She knows everything in this trailer's fake, and it just tricks you into thinking it's real. The window faces west, and she started putting the towel up in the summer so the setting sun wouldn't overheat her bed, but now it's the end of September, and she's grown used to sleeping in the darkened room. She folds the towel and places it on her pillow. Outside, A tractor is pulling a machine along the edge of a field, the corn stalks falling as it passes. She thinks she might ask Roy what this machine is called. Not today, but sometime later. Roy puts guardrails up along the county roads, and since he needs machines to do that, she thinks he might know what this one is called. On the north side of the cornfield, there's the interstate, with the cars and big trucks heading east and west, filled with people who know nothing about her. She wonders if anyone ever looks her way or imagines what it's like to live here, if they even notice the 3 crooked rows of old trailer houses whose trees aren't big enough yet to climb or to shade the flat metal roofs. The dog next door barks, and she remembers. It's Thursday, and the garbage truck is turned in off the lane. She's never heard the neighbor dog's name. She kneels by the bed and pulls out her suitcase and lifts it up on the blanket. Its clasp is rusted, its corners scuffed and peeling. The first Thursday morning she saw the garbage truck. She thought it looked a lot safer than the trailer houses, and all summer she prayed that if a tornado came, it would be on a Thursday morning when she could hide in the garbage truck. Then the tornado could crumple this fakey trailer and suck Roy right up from the broken trailer parts and put him down somewhere else. She knows there's no use in killing the man who lives in the trailer. Dead or alive, her mother would just replace him. Before Roy, in this trailer in Iowa, there was Hank in the trailer in Florida, and before Hank there was Johnny in the little house that smelled like cat pee, and before Johnny there was Bobby. She can't remember Bobby very well, but there have been 4. Everybody's mother is good at something. Her mother's good at finding the same man no matter where she lives. Her mother tells her that children are a calendar. She says it at least once a month like it's some new idea she thought up all by herself. Her mother says that if she, Griff Evans Gilkyson, had never been born, never learned to walk, dress herself, and speak, then she herself could still think she was a young woman. Griff thinks her very own calendar is her mother's men. 4 men, about 1.5 years for each one. Before that, she was too little to keep track. She shrugs and whispers, "So I'm 9.5. She strips off the T-shirt she slept in and folds it and lays it in the bottom of the suitcase. The suitcase smelled of mothballs and mildew when her mother bought it at the John 316 thrift shop, and it still does. She opens her hands flat and presses down against her chest. No titties, she thinks. She's still safe. She thinks that one morning she'll wake up with breasts, maybe the start of hair between her legs, and everything will begin to go wrong, just like things have gone wrong for her mother. Breasts attract trailer houses and pickup trucks and lots of tears. She wishes her father was still alive. If he weren't dead, it would be safe to let her titties grow. She puts on a pair of tan corduroy pants, a ribbed cotton chemise, and a striped polo shirt. She laces her tennis shoes and opens the bottom drawer of her dresser. The dresser and the desk are made of the same pressed particle board, and she likes them because they don't even try to look like wood. The drawers stick, so she has to be careful to keep them quiet. She empties all the dresser drawers into the suitcase, every piece of clothing she owns. When she gets a bigger suitcase, she'll get more clothes. No sense in owning something she'd need to leave behind. That wouldn't make any sense at all. She slips her school books and notebooks into a small backpack. The backpack is orange, with zippered pockets on its sides for her pencils, pens, and magic markers. Roy bought it for her. He told her orange was a good color for Iowa. You'll be easy to spot whether there's snow or not, he said. Some hunter won't think you're just a little brown rabbit and shoot you for dinner. She hates the backpack. She prays the tornado will get that too. She kneels beside her bed and slips her hand between the mattress and box spring. When she feels the coolness of her diary, she stops and listens. There's still just the sounds her mother's making in the kitchen, so she slides it out. The cover is lavender patent leather, so shiny she can see her reflection in it. She sits at her desk and opens the diary to its last page. Things I hate about my mother. Number 1, I hate that she's pretty. Number 2, I hate that she thinks she's not pretty. Number 3, I hate that she works at the dry cleaners, but I like Kitty, her boss. Number 4, I hate that she doesn't know karate. Number 5, I hate that she likes the same music Roy likes. Number 6, I hate that she doesn't believe in God or angels. Number 7, I hate that she makes us live in Iowa. And this morning she adds, Number 8, I hate it that she's not really hairy, so hairy that only kangaroos would...